For some reason, we paused in mid-afternoon on the side of a hill and were told to take a break. I think some reconnaissance was going on at the front of our column. It just happened that my platoon sergeant and I were by ourselves lying on the side of the hill under a tree. There were very few trees there, and we chose this spot, I think, because there was a little shade there. Well, up the hill was my friend Leo Torrey, with whom I always dug our foxholes every night. And after we'd been there a while, Leo hollers down at me, "Hey Doc," as you know, all medics are called Doc. He says, "I'm behind a nice pile of rocks up here. I've got a great place. Why don't you come on up?" I said, "Oh, I'm okay down here, Leo. I've got a little shade. I'll be okay." Well, he kept calling me and calling me and calling me. Finally, I said, "Okay, shut up, I'll come." So I got up and walked up there, and I had no longer sat down beside him. Then we heard an artillery piece fire from the direction of the shore behind us, and we could hear the shell coming over. And it either was an airburst or it landed in the tree in which I and Sergeant Healer had been lying, and exploded and just tore up the ground under that tree and tore up Sergeant Healer as well. Killed him instantly. I immediately jumped up and ran back down to see if I could help him at all, but it's obviously he was dead. He was struck through the head in addition to many other places. So I ran back up where I was sitting. That was the only shell that was fired at that time, and it just happened to hit right there. We were inside the building, and someone yelled, "Here comes a tank." And what they meant was that there was a German tank coming from the far end, coming down the street toward us. And he came right up to the house in which we were standing. And I watched through the window the turret rotate around, point the cannon at the wall, and he fired around right through that wall. The wall was brick, and the brick were flying everywhere. And one of the men, Ben Bray, was hit in the knee, and it almost took his leg off, not quite all, but most of it. And I grabbed him and got a little bit of help to get him down into the cellar. There was a cellar under this house. I took him down there and put a tourniquet on, gave him a syringe full of morphine to help deaden his pains, sprinkled the wound with sulfanilamide powder as best I could, and bandaged it the little I could. Unfortunately, Ben had lost a tremendous amount of blood. And contrary to the way things are today, we field medics were never given blood plasma, which just absolutely amazes me. How did they expect us to treat someone who had lost a lot of blood without that? But anyway, that was our situation. And fighting was going on quite briskly up above. And all of a sudden, the hatch to the cellar in which I was holding forth with Ben opened, and my platoon sergeant yelled, "Hey Doc, we've been given orders to withdraw, come on." And I said, "Charlie, you know I can't leave Ben. What am I going to do?" I said, "You guys go, well, I'll try to catch up with you later." So he shut the door and everybody bailed out. And there are Ben and I down there, and Ben he's in deep shock, and I know he's not going to make it. Lost too much blood and anything, but I just couldn't bring myself to abandon him. So there we were. Things got very quiet, and then after some period of time I hear boots coming on the floor above, and I hear German speaking taking place. I kept very quiet, and Ben was comatose, so he wasn't going to make any noise. And after a short period, these Germans who had been up there left, and after a while things got calm again. And in the meantime, Ben passed away. I'm sure you've heard the old stories about how cohesive infantry units are and how everybody depends upon each other. Don't take that as a myth. I can verify personally, this is absolutely the truth. You'll never be closer to anyone than you will in a situation like that. Any of us would have given our lives for the others.